What kind of books are we going to use?
We can look at we have a 2 kb or 3 kb. We look at what we call your backup time. How long do you, if there's no light for any reason, how long do you want this system to be powered on? Is it 8 hours? Is it 12 hours? We can now work the number of batteries we give you. So it's not about system design. We now look at your need to suit you. So that's what we're doing. But 2 to 3 kb batteries. Because on the 5 kVA, basically using 12 batteries, we're doing about 50 systems for 8 hours.
200 AH batteries?
Yes.
How about that too? If you mention the amount,
But if you look at the battery is about, it depends on battery. Battery is about
40,000.
40 to 50.
Multiply with the number and just.
On this, okay, for
not just for this. We're looking at
okay, about 20 system. You might need about 4 batteries.
4 batteries.
Minimum. And if you look at the cost of running generators also for a period of 6 to 1 year, you see that it's better than what it is. And the noise, the pollution also. Okay, thank you. This is the interface to our biometric time attendance software. Basically, if you consider the IP address, I'm just using a cable to connect to it. I can use any public IP, any form of on my intranet. I will just change the IP address and you can connect to it anywhere remotely. Basically, when you want to disconnect from it, you can just click disconnect. You will see behind this column, it will show disconnected. So if I want to connect to it, I will just click connect. And it still tries to connect. After I click say successful, that means I see the icon here changes. So we named the Edo State Biometric 1 Edo State Biometric for the purpose of this presentation. Basically, he has an employee status. This shows where you see the picture you want to register a staff. For example, we do a demonstration by registering a staff. You click, there's an icon, click add. It gives you the name. You can put the gender, maybe male, nationality, Nigeria, title, Mr. So. Basically, it allows you to show the date of death. Maybe the person was given birth in 2008, for example, 11th of 2008. Card number with your staff ID number. It depends on what is being used. I said the address, home address, maybe number 7, KKJJ Street, okay, Keku Street. Street, Benin City. City, Edo State. Basically, we go with the name of the person. Maybe the person is Adams. No, I will use Adamu Shiruma. This also, maybe you have a task ID number, a special number to track the person. So you can put 006 for the purpose of this. Office telephone number, maybe it's the Ministry of Work, the telephone number of the Ministry of Work. You can put 267. User, who is this person? Is he an administrator that can go there? You have a remote administrator that can register people physically there, or you control remotely, so you can choose. Is he a user? Is he somebody that can enroll somebody? Somebody that can only enroll a staff there, maybe there's a temporary staff.
I'm sorry, let me ask a question here.
Please do.
If at the point of this registration, we already have the detail of this staff, can we leave all these ones out and just go to the user and assign the power to that one? Because we have a biometric report as
correct. Yes, when you register, you can go. When you have the database in you can call somebody. I've given you an enroll asset. Please go and register somebody temporarily. Maybe you have some subcontractor like designer coming to work and you need to monitor when they come and when they go. You can do that. The person will allow them to enroll physically. You can register somebody physically at the site and the location. You can change that, you can edit how it is the person.
So it's not like you must fill the whole fields.
Yes,
you must fill all their optional, all these fields you have to fill.
Yeah, they're optional, but but there's also some critical ones. He will tell you if he needs it, if it's part of what he needs, he will tell you to please input the key. Some critical information are there.
Copy.
Excuse me. Yes, I noticed when Mr. Annabelle asked you, told you that we have a biometric database on ground. I was expecting you to probably ask us from what details of our EOI to you, like let us know on what application on ground do we have, if it's, because you're not particularly talking about the area of interfacing at all.
I'm still going to come to that. I'm just demonstrating the capturing, the storing, and the retrieval part, which is part of it. I know based on the letter sent to us, we know you have an SQL, Microsoft SQL database, Oracle. There's been spectral. I'll get to that, sir.
So the reason why I actually mentioned that is because they're already talking about the area of data entry now.
Yes.
Which is exactly this is the time for you to say that.
We have that. I'm just talking about capturing individual data. So this is basically the date of birth of the staff. So basically, the date of employment, basically when he was employed. And maybe his phone number, when he received his phone number. And then you can have his picture keyed in there, taken from where you're using any software used to capture from your camera on the laptop. And you connect to the device. The name of this device is Edo State. You click connect to the device. It says success in connection to the device. You can click OK and you can click enroll. And now with this you can determine is it going to use all the 10 pounds, is it going to use one, but for the purpose of demonstration we just use one. I will use my left, or can somebody come forward and be a volunteer? Okay. I think this is a good picture. We will manage. Okay, use yours. Which one do you want to use? Okay, click it. Okay, please click it. It shows he has accepted fingerprint data. Yeah, it has accepted, wait, it has accepted that one is showing green. So you click OK. So, so we've enrolled and we just click on save on the top. We have save and the data will be saved.
How many figures are used actually?
10,000.
Okay, I know for individual.
You can capture the whole 10. You can capture one. But I will only advise the fewer you have because it takes more space. I will only advise to take one or two.
So, sorry, I may ask. So, maybe one way of doing a sort of orientation to the end users, maybe you say when you are going to get to work, you should not be using your.
Yeah, we will demonstrate that because when we register her now, she will come in as if she wants to log in. She's going to show her ID detail, which is 006. It will show it on the display because every staff must have maybe staff ID. But in this case, I use 006. So when the person comes to work, he logs in as 00. He sees his ID as 006 all the time.
So So when
Because
the
you
person
must
comes to work, sorry, and he or she enters a finger he did not use or she did not use,
he won't accept it. He will never accept it. That is a fact. No, you can't take it because you need to close it. And so you need to just log in, try to come as if you're at work, and see if it displays your, if it accepts. So basically, it shows he came into work at this time. And basically, we will just go to a column that download attendance log. I also have my data in there, so we can capture as many as much. So I know when I click data, this is all the data of everything. I've retrieved it from there. Everything is saved. Everybody that came to work at the agreed time is saved now. If we said at 10 o'clock, at 9 we want to be capturing that. If you come after then, we won't consider you to be at work. Okay. So basically you can now go.
Sorry. It does not have a feature to separate latecomers from.
It does. I'm still going to go.
Or when you come late, does not.
It separate the time. It separate the time you come. You set the criteria. There's what we call attendance rule. You create a rule as a company or as a parastator that we want to say anybody that comes from maybe anything, you can start logging in because you can't just come anytime. Maybe from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you come after 9 a.m., you are considered late. And if you go before that time, you consider as if you didn't come to work also. There's a rule for time here. I will get to that.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
In offices where they run shift or 24-hour sales, can this machine be on for the whole of the day?
Yeah, there is also, it can be on for 24/7. Yes, it can. And there's also room for shift, for staff that run shift. Yeah? There's a criteria for staff that you identify those staff that they work 24 hours. Or maybe subcontractors like Zano that might be working and you want to know their activity. It's also captured. They are just temporary staff. Then you can delete them as well. Okay, basically the database option, okay, not here. Basically the database option we're talking about is the provider. So we can connect to any database you choose to. You can look, we have the Microsoft Asset Database Engine, the Microsoft 15.0 Asset Database Engine, Microsoft OLEDB Provider Analyst, SQL, Oracle, we have all of them. Any engine you want to connect to, you just put the data to connect. That's basically. And you can also create departments. Here I can add maybe Ministry of Department, maybe Works. You can also create departments. As many departments you have. This is where you create shift management. Those run different shifts. That's the column. You can add a new shift and create. From Monday to Friday, this person will be working from certain place to certain number of hours. This is, you can also create what they call it. You see, you have weekend sets, calculation of what kind of criteria you want, number of working time, employee schedule.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
From a remote location, how do you connect to the central database?
When you click,
What I'm saying is, what does it use to connect when you don't have a local area network?
internet, IP, in as much as you have a public IP address on that network, and your location, whether you have a internet cloud, internet connectivity, or an intranet, you can connect to those. That's what is it.
One of these, where you don't have, where you have maybe telecoms company provider, how does this thing work?
Okay, we can use what we call a 3G router, in which you register and any network provider that has a good coverage in that area, maybe a 3G coverage, an MTN.
But the device on its own does not have that function.
Yeah, the device does not have those.
So the device will only depend on TCP/IP.
Yeah, it will only connect to that router.
It's not wireless.
It's not wireless. It has Wi-Fi. It hasn't built
Wi-Fi.
But it can communicate with that router having the internet.
But it cannot use a GPRS.
It can use no, it cannot use its own GPRS.
GPRS. You have to connect to maybe a wireless router.
Yeah, yes, something wireless.
Excuse me, is that your product?
Pardon?
The machine, is that your product?
Yes.
Is that the only one you have?
I think the only one
pattern you have?
There are different patterns, but this is the pattern I brought for the purpose of this presentation. We are no EM, original equipment manufacturer, we manufacture my equipment.
Do you ever consider the remote storage sector of this project?
Yeah, we have outdoor and indoor devices. Those that you can.
Well, the moment you start talking on router for a village, and the most remote villages we have at school, they are not to 3G yet. Most of them is just on 2G. The access are not good.
No, it could work on ordinary, simple network. I'm just saying recommending 3G. You understand? I'm just saying even we deployed what they call IP telephony system.
You can't have the system that we have there, that we don't have Wi-Fi. You can't have such a system that be on wireless without router. We have to look at the cost implication.
Because yes.
We can bear that.
You can bear that.
The cost of those devices, and because we deploy them, they go for about 3 to 2,000. To be sincere, because we just finished.
But when you look at 1,000 locations,
Nigeria Chiefs Council, we deployed an IP telephony system for about all their branches nationwide.
How many is that?
About 30 something.
Maybe thousands here.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that it works on any GSM technology. It just we partner with Etisalat and Glo on the project. Just we put their SIM card on the router. The router is a D-Link simple router. It's just 2,000, 3,000. They're very cheap. That's why I'm able to say completely is what
you see. In our state, there are some villages you go, Etisalat might not be there, Glo might not be there, MTN is functioning. You go to the next one, the reverse is the case.
Okay, let me the device also has capability of connecting to more than one service provider.
Okay.
And aggregate the network. He has a maximum of 3. You can connect Etisalat, Glo, MTN. In the case of on the case of Chiefs Council, they agreed on Glo and Etisalat.
Okay.
So at any point, if this one is low, this one is high, or the network of this one is down, they stick with this one. So to ensure connectivity to the person. This just shows the capture log of the period we selected for every staff from 8:30 a.m. to about 5:30 p.m. You can also back up. You can choose where you want to have your backup, anywhere you want to back up. I can back up on my desktop, for instance, and name it Edo State Backup.
So what's the warranty on this machine?
1 year.
1 year.
Compressive 1 year.
What do you buy compressors?
Compressive is anything with
But if one way you have it, so that's storm,
no
conditions.
What will we? There's no.
Down the language.
Essence there's no warranty. Somebody cannot come and physical damage. It will not be accepted. Warranty does not cover that. There's a standard for warranty. Okay, let's see warranty. Okay. So this is where the database is stored.
Compressive is that we don't repair, we replace.
We just replace outright.
Instead of repair.
Instead of replace, just bring another one.
But you cannot even come up with it in 1 day.
I can give you a warranty that the equipment is damaged. I'll tell you I'm going to repair it for maybe 2 weeks or 1 month, and your system is down. That's what we mean by comprehensive right. So you just bring a replacement outright. And for the purpose of this forum, we've also be opening our branch office in Akwa. Maita is working on that. Within the next 1 or 2 months. Hello?
Yeah, you can come into time.
Now we're expanding our brand. We're going to most South. We are even opening.
Are you doing last night?
Last night, yes.
Last month.
That's what you're doing. That's why you're doing yours.
We are also offering. We are presently laying fiber from Lagos to University of Guinea. Now,
There's already a fiber there.
no, we're laying a special one for University of Guinea. We have a special.
Why not replace the one you have there already?
The cost will be paying the provider.
People know it's cool.
No, it's a federal government project. Anyway, they decided so we don't do it. Okay, thank you. I think my time is up.
Do you have a plan to train people?
Yeah, we have a plan to train. That's why when I was making presentation, that we'll train and present. Yeah, before we start the implementation, we are awarded with train, and during the implementation, we train, and after we train, if need be, we are awarded. Thanks so much.
Okay.